purpose of the life. For every being, the human being, they must and should gain the social knowledge and spiritual knowledge as well as experiences as social and spiritual wisdom. It is the evolutionary process. As an animal being to human being, super being, spiritual being and divine being. It's an evolutionary process. In this we see as a normal minded people, normal like social beings, they have a routine life, and some unique souls available. They are well talented as they do their job as a scientist, as actors, singers, IT professionals, etc. Everybody having their own purpose of life, and what is there in the deeper of the mind, it comes to surface of the mind, and they come to know what they are, what they did in the past, and it impacts in the present and future. The soul conscious energy is available beneath that, the causal layer available, the karna sharira, the reason of the birth. Everybody having causal layer, everything recorded in the causal layer, the past lives, what we did. It makes certain calculations and it projects into the mind. The causal layer which created the mind is originated from this Maya, the illusion, and then from the mind, the body got created. The body, beyond the physical body, you see the mind. In the mind, you see the emotional, and you see the causal layer, and the consciousness, energy as a soul as well. It is the layers. According to our past karmas, past lives, what they did in the past, it impacts in the present and the future. Every human being, it's a journey. The soul is a journey. Soul is immortal. Spiritual journey. But many people not aware of this spiritually because of the lack of consciousness. They are oblivious. This kind of mindset people, they may get the pain and suffer at the time of living the physical body. It is inevitable. They will be tangled in the loop of Maya, the cycle of birth and death. It happens continuously. The real purpose of the life for each and every person to evolution their consciousness, to accelerate the soul energy consciousness, which impacts for their better future, as well as it impacts in the social and spiritually. When the soul having a journey, everything has been recorded, and when they're leading the life, anytime they find out their talent and they do the work. Ultimately, if you're seeing the spiritual person, they have the spiritual thoughts and they lead a spiritual life, the most of the percent. But what kind of thing, what kind of job, what kind of work you are doing in socially, but one day your mind, your inner core, what is there inside in a deeperly, the causal layer, it impacts in a future or present, and your life will be changed. Being a immortal being and getting this more spiritual wisdom, this is important to avoid the pain and suffer. That is very important. The life is not only like having food and sleeping, resting, earning money. Not only this is normal things. Life is beyond this. Looking at ourselves, caring ourselves, health, spiritual, as well as taking care of the society, family members, surroundings. That is important. To ultimately, for each and every person, to avoid this pain and suffer, they must gain the spiritual energies, spiritual consciousness. Because of life is impermanence. At the time of death, they feel more sad and pain and suffer because of this unconsciousness. The consciousness is available right now. The physical body and the mind is a tool for you to know what you are, to gain spiritual energies, to spiritual growth. The Maya which covered the mind, our spiritual senses got deactivated. It is not activated. Yoga and spirituality enhances the spiritual growth within. Obviously, especially the person having spiritual thoughts in a certain age, looking into society, we get naturally many questions like spiritual questions, and we feel what is this materialistic life. It is which is everything is impermanence. By seeing with the eyes, and we think everything is impermanence. We think like that. We fooled by money. We fooled by this materialistic life, which is also important for certain, but not 100%. The social beings give 100% to social life. They will stroke in a social life. Spiritual beings, we get this kind of thoughts. Everything is impermanence, and we have fooled by social life, which means you are getting this kind of thoughts, which means you are no doubt you are a spiritual person. When you're coming, this kind of thoughts only brings more thinking within. You feel you worried to your future, your presence. Automatically you will lead a spiritual life, and we get detachment by society. Detachment which leads enlightenment, step by step. As usually we balance social and spiritually. But ultimately this for a social beings to overcome this pain and suffer. The physical body is perishable, the soul is imperishable, soul is immortal, we are immortal. To getting ultimate bliss, to getting ultimate nectar, one must gain the spiritual energies, transformation from lower to higher self, which brings luxurious life, spiritual life. To will be in a safe zone, in positive attitude, proper thinking, and being good, doing good. If everybody practicing yoga and spirituality in a proper way, we can bring the heaven to the earth. Presently we are in a dark age, Kali Yuga, which there is lack of goodness in the society. You will see many bad mind people, evil mind people, their selfishness. Now present is what I am observing in the entire world. People are practicing yoga and spirituality. Some people coming into spirituality. Very soon everybody coming into yoga and spirituality. It happens. If it not happens, you people will see disasters. More wrong things in the society. Like more you can take war, earthquakes. Already it happened, it's happening again also. Everybody practice peace, bliss, yoga and spirituality. We can bring the heaven to the earth. And yes, I'm sure that many people are coming into spirituality and yoga also. Already people are practicing yoga, and most of the percent of people coming into spirituality. Soon upcoming in future, if people see the changes step by step, That's what Maya, which covered our senses, the spiritual senses. Once the mind is elevated, mind is having the spiritual thinking, what we look at in society, what we see, that we get automatically spiritual thoughts, and we become like a we can have a spiritual path, and automatically we turn into the meditation and this thing, spiritual life. That's the difference between the socially and spiritually, but each soul is unique. It's not like that you are low and high because of lack of consciousness. Everybody is a divine, everything is divinity. There is no bad like that, everything is a good. The thing is only the people, especially normal minded people, they're stuck in the social life. They tangle, they're making themselves stuck. To come out from this cage, the pain and suffer, must the soul and consciousness should be elevated for transformation, to overcome the pain of death, physical death. Once you, what happens exactly at the time of death? Our consciousness, physical consciousness will become weaker, it become unconsciousness, and it's going to be measurable. And next moment what happens we don't know. We are uncontrolled, we are unable to control our astral bodies, we are unable to control what's happening, we are unable to aware misery, something happening, we will feel pain and suffer. Later on you may go in different locations, you may have a birth again, but you don't know anything. When you take a birth again, you will be cut off by all memories. When you take a step into the birth, you will take birth. If you take birth again, planet Earth, you will be forgetting your past. The same thing happens. They are in a loop of Maya. Once you want to be come out all those things, yoga and spirituality, it try to brings out of this pain and suffer. It transforms your pain and suffer into it converts into you into bliss and nectar. Once you gain a wisdom, once you have a knowledge, you will be not afraid of this physical death, and you will live immortal, and you will have a very peaceful, blissful life. Your future will be secure, you will be safe. Activating the spiritual senses, which important within. That's what yoga and spirituality, which helps you in a social and spiritually make your better life, better future. They practice yoga and come out all these things, pain and suffer. Otherwise, it will be more, brings more and suffer. It will be inevitable. You're making tangled yourself into the miseries. Presently, we are different, getting old age, diseases. At the time of death, it will leads more pain and suffer. Now, presently, we are in a stage. More people are getting, they are suffering from diseases. Different diseases are coming. They are suffering from it because of technology going high. More pollution is there on our planet Earth. To avoid that, yoga helps you. Prevention is better than the cure, and keeping the mind peace and bliss important to extension your lifespan, to make yourself young and healthy. That is which important.